Adrian, thank you. The sun is setting on another lovely Rome evening. The floodlights on, the atmosphere sizzling. Italy aiming to become the first team to secure their spot in the knockout stages of Euro 2020, and at the same time they hope to underline their credentials as serious contenders. The emphatic opening night win over Turkey has really raised hopes of a first Euros title since 1968 for the Swiss. Well, they were held to a draw by Wales in Baku in their opening group game. It was a match they feel they should have won. The pressure, though, is really on them tonight. Dean Ashton, it's going to be special, isn't it? In the Eternal City once again, you feel?
It is, but they need to be tested more than they were against a poor Turkish side, and I expect Seferovic and Embolo to give Bonucci and Chiellini a totally different test.
16,000 in, 4,000 of them Swiss. What a noise on Talk Sport. Red shirts on show, blue shirts on show, flags on show everywhere you look. And the game ready to begin. Switzerland will kick things off, playing from left to right in this opening half, all in white with red trim. And for the Azzurri, for Italy tonight, a return to those royal blue shirts, darker shorts and royal blue socks. Our commentary position on Talk Sport set to the back of the main stand, high up into the sky, even towards this roof that hangs above us at the historic Stadio Olimpico. Just to the left of the halfway line, we have one of the best seats in the house. We have a Russian referee tonight, Sergei Karasev. He blows his whistle, the game begins, and Switzerland straight away go long through Manuel Akanji up towards Kevin Mbabu, the former Newcastle player, on the near side, and the right wing back with dreadlocks wins a free kick in the opening moments. The two sides, Italy, Donnarumma in goal, Di Lorenzo, Bonucci, Chiellini and Spinazzola, Barella, Jorginho and Locatelli, Berardi, Immobile and Insigne, the three furthest forward. I'll give you the Swiss side in just a moment, but the diminutive Shaqiri is stood over the ball, stocky figure, number 23 on the back of his white shirt. The Swiss have a free kick a couple of yards infield from the near side. Hoisted in by Shaqiri and headed away at the edge of the 18-yard box by Di Lorenzo for Italy. It's pumped long by Mbabu. Crossfield out towards the near side. Shaqiri brings it down well, impressively, in front of Insigne, who is the scourge of Turkey in Italy's opening group game, that famous 3-0 victory on the opening night. And Italy this evening looking to extend their remarkable run to 29 matches unbeaten. Remember, they haven't lost a game, Italy, since the autumn of 2018. The Swiss side, Sommer in goal, Elvedi, Cher and Akanji, Mbabu, Freuler, Xhaka with his hair dyed bleach blonde, and Rodriguez, Shaqiri in behind Seferovic and Embolo. And Seferovic darting forward with the score 0-0. Corner of the penalty area. Out left to Xhaka, who crosses. It's charged down by Di Lorenzo, and the Swiss have a throw, Dean Ashton.
Very interesting to see just how high the Swiss have pushed up. They would have learned, I'm sure, from Turkey in terms of how deep they sat back against the Italians and allowed them to dictate the play. Well, Switzerland haven't allowed that in the early stages.
Xhaka, 10 yards into opposition territory. Switzerland were guilty of missing a host of gilt-edged chances in that Group A match against Wales in Azerbaijan. Haris Seferovic guilty more than most, but it's Italy on the attack now. Berardi up to the edge of the penalty area, onto his left foot. Berardi trying to play it square. In the end, Xhaka slid in. Elvedi hacks it clear up to the halfway line for Switzerland, and the chance is gone, and it's 0-0 with 2 minutes played on Talk Sport. But what an electric, energetic start from both sides.
Absolutely, yeah, brilliant from Granit Xhaka as well, as Seferovic is in the box.
Left-hand edge of the penalty area, trying to spin and twist and turn. Can he get away from Chiellini? No, he can't. The Italy skipper hammers the ball high up into the dark night sky, up to the halfway line and back into the possession of the side in all white, Switzerland. I can see Roberto Mancini a long way from our commentary position at the foot of the main stand. Of course, here at the Stadio Olimpico, big gap between the stands and the field of play. There's a blue carpet where there was once a running track. The atmosphere is feverish. It's been building all day. I went down for a walk to the fan park near the centre of Rome earlier on. There were Swiss supporters in their red shirts, some of them racing through the streets on scooters. There were Italy fans there as well, enjoying a beer and a pizza on the terrace. It's been a party atmosphere. Humid tonight in Rome, though mercifully there is at times a cool breeze in the air. as the Italy goalkeeper, all in bright yellow. Donnarumma goes long up to the halfway line, but Switzerland win it back straight away. And Dean Ashton, this has been a very confident start from the underdogs here at the Olimpico.
Absolutely, and the minimum you have to do is match the Italians in terms of intensity. They've been brilliant so far, the Swiss.
And it's Rodriguez skipping in field, driving the ball up to the edge of the box, but Bonucci is there to scoop it high and long for Italy. Bonucci and Chiellini with a combined age of 70, both with over 100 Italy caps, and both key to this, I say it again, this extraordinary run that Italy are on. They're looking to make it 10 games straight with victory tonight. Italy looking for 10 straight wins, and they haven't conceded a goal in their previous 9 victories. Italy, it is some record. Here is Akanji for Switzerland, left hand side, deep inside his own half. The ball is scooped forward up towards Seferovic, but it's Chiellini with the white boots on with a very strong challenge, and then Immobile is tripped. Immobile, who scored the second goal of the tournament and the second goal for Italy against Turkey on the opening night. He's fouled and he wins a free kick midway inside opposition territory, and it's Italy 0, Switzerland 0.
Yeah, maybe expect to see that early on with just how intense the Swiss players are closing down the Italians. Maybe just give a few free kicks away. But once the Italians settle down, make sure you've got one eye on Jorginho, the playmaker, the master.
16,000 at the Olimpico tonight, and a sizable contingent of Swiss supporters in the northeast corner as we look at it towards the far side. Most of them on their feet, clapping and cheering with the red replica shirts on. Barella looking to make headway on the far side, the right for Italy, at the base of that huge Cabernet stand. There are the national flags of both countries hanging high above that stand, just beneath the floodlights. The sky getting ever darker, it's a midnight blue, the same colour as the Italy shirts. Here's Insigne, edge of the D, flicking it high into the penalty area, and the goalkeeper comes out to claim Sommer in the end. Locatelli was darting forward into that 18-yard box with a really good run for Italy, and he got something on it, but Sommer able to pluck the loose ball out of the air, and it's still goalless.
Well, if they haven't learned from that first game against Turkey that Insigne can pick up the tiniest amount of space anywhere on the pitch. Brilliant little flick over the top of
Barella forward for Immobile inside the penalty area. He couldn't stretch to reach it, and the offside flag, that checkered flag, goes up on the far side. It wouldn't have counted anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. But it was a great line, defensive line from the Swiss. He was a long way offside, Immobile, but Insigne is just so creative when he picks up a lovely bit of space, a little flick over the top for Locatelli. But once again, Granit Xhaka, that's twice now. Brilliant tracking of the runner.
It's been an intriguing first 6 minutes of the contest on TalkSport. Remember, if Italy win tonight, they will go through to the last 16. Lots of pressure on Switzerland after Wales' fantastic win in Baku earlier. Turkey 0, Wales 2, live on TalkSport. Aaron Ramsey and Connor Roberts with the goals in Azerbaijan. So Wales 4 points from 2 games. You'd have to say that they are all but through to the knockout stages, and what an achievement for Rob Page's side. You can have your say on that game and this game and the rest of Euro 2020. We'll have every game live for you across the TalkSport network on the Euro Sports Bar tonight from 10. Andy Goldstein and Jason Cundy. 08717 223344 is the number as always. Now Xhaka up to the left, and the cultured Rodriguez, who tries a left-footed cross, but the ball had actually gone out of play before he had the chance to whip it in. Rodriguez, he's got his dark hair tied back, tattoos down his arms, and Italy have a throw on the far side, which Di Lorenzo will take in the right back position.
And again, I'm just watching Lorenzo Insigne picking up a brilliant position, stretching away to this near side, and Babbo now has just noticed where he is. Elvedi as well. What do you do? Do you go and track him into the midfield area, or do you leave him? That's the big question for the Swiss defence this evening.
That's the former England striker Dean Ashton, live here at the stadium, at the Stadio Olimpico, alongside me, Joe Shannon. Switzerland in possession. Freuler square to Xhaka, midway inside his own half. Freuler has given it away. Berardi there to intercept. Cher got across, but it's fallen for Insigne. 5 yards to the edge of the penalty area. Switzerland look nervy there. Here's Barella 30 yards from goal, plays it back to Di Lorenzo. Immobile in the middle, it's hit towards Immobile, headed away, comes out to Insigne, chests it down the number 10, onto that favoured right foot. The crowd cries shoot, he doesn't elect to do so. Plenty of white shirts behind the ball. Switzerland, everybody inside their own half, even the two strikers, Seferovic and Embolo there. And Italy have to go back to the halfway line. Immediately though, they pick up the pace, they work it wide to Berardi, infield to Barella, back to Berardi with the black boots on. And now the clever Jorginho, European champion at club level with Chelsea. And this week, the famous Italian sports paper, La Gazzetta dello Sport, called him the midfield maestro, the conductor of the orchestra. And that's exactly what he does, Dean.
He does, and when Turkey tired, that's when he really came into his own. When they stopped checking their shoulders to see where he was, that's when he starts to really dictate and pierce your midfield with crafted passes into the likes of Insigne, who again's picking up a great position. Only Messi has scored more goals from outside the box this season.
Barella's outside the box, he looks for Immobile inside the penalty area, but Cher read it well. The Newcastle defender smacks it high over the halfway line, and Embolo's got the pace to beat Chiellini to the ball, and Switzerland have a half chance here. Embolo into the penalty area at a tight angle, he can't get beyond Di Lorenzo, tries to play it back towards Shaqiri, but this time Italy doing enough. Jorginho, with tape around his ankles, was in the way, and the Italian side have it back. It's Italy 0, Switzerland 0. We're in the 10th minute, and it's live and interrupted from the stadium here on Talk Sport. Insigne, fleet-footed, near side the left. You can't take your eyes or ears off this game. Locatelli wearing number 5 with the bright green boots on, sets up Spinazzola on the overlap. It's a terrific run to the dead ball line. Immobile with a header over the top from 6 yards out, and Ciro Immobile, having scored in the opening game against Turkey, when presented with such a glorious opportunity like that, well, he should have hit the target bare minimum.
Absolutely, yeah. Spinazzola was man of the match in the opening game. Brilliant again, getting right to the byline. Really did get his head up, saw that Immobile had just pulled back away from the defender, chipped it in towards him. Do you know what? He just totally mistimes his jump. So then when it was time to head it, he was about 3 inches too far away, so he just couldn't get the power, and in the end it bounced off the top of his head and over the bar.
The noise and fury you heard was the Swiss fans appealing for a free kick in favour of Embolo. They didn't get it from the Russian referee. Michael Oliver, incidentally, is the 4th official tonight here in the Eternal City. And there's so many reminders of history as you walk up to the stadium. The white statues, the green trees of the Foro Italico, the gold statue of the Madonna high up above the stadium as if to look down on proceedings. It's a remarkable venue.
Interesting, Joe, wasn't it, that Chiellini didn't even think about going out there with Embolo.
That's a poor clearance, straight to Barella on the edge of the box. Might he have a go here? Plays it square to Berardi inside the penalty area, try to reverse ball, blocked off by Akanji, but Switzerland all of a sudden look a little on the ropes. It's still 0-0 in the 12th minute of the match, and Italy much fancied after an opening night victory, with Insigne inside the penalty area, twisting, turning. Was he brought down? Referee says no, it was Elvedi with the challenge. The ball is out wide with Spinazzola. Italy relentless here in their blue. Spinazzola from the dead ball line, dinks in the cross, high to the far post, headed away this time by Rodriguez. And Switzerland capped deep inside their own half. Berardi from the edge of the box strikes it. This time it's blocked, and Italy have a throw.
And this is what they were very good in their opening match, was keeping the pressure on, keeping the ball alive, quick throw-ins.
Locatelli lets it run. Insigne on the edge of the penalty area. Square to Immobile. Little room to work with. Little back heel to Insigne. And now Spinazzola. Corner of the 18-yard box on the near side of the field. Italy 0, Switzerland 0. But the Swiss are hanging on. Insigne, left-hand edge of the penalty area. Nudges infield to Locatelli, the tall midfielder. Back to the sturdy skipper Chiellini. Chiellini with his elbows jutting out. That yellow armband on. Spinazzola on the near side. Italy playing from right to left in this opening half, towards the north end of the stadium. And Babu slides in, and the ball goes out of play for a goal kick to Switzerland.
Well, he's going to have a tough night, isn't he? And Babu, playing as a right wing back, Elvedi's naturally going to make sure that he tucks in at times, especially when they're deep. It's going to leave him 1v1 or 2v1 against Insigne and Spinazzola.
Dean, I think this is a better atmosphere than we had for the opening game at stages, to be honest with you.
I think there's a great Swiss contingency, isn't there, over to the left-hand side, who are making a fantastic noise alongside the Italian fans.
We've seen them, haven't we, when we've been out in the evenings, just soaking up the atmosphere and trying those Italian delicacies. Some of us,
just a few,
try more than others. We've enjoyed it, and it's a great privilege to be here and to bring you the game in particular on Talk Sport. We'll be back in the Stadio Olimpico on Sunday for the final match of the group stages in Rome, Italy against Wales. What a win for Wales earlier, 2-0 in Turkey. The other game, by the way, today in Group B finished Finland 0, Russia 1, so that's Russia's first victory of Euro 2020 and Finland's first defeat. 0-0 here at the Olimpico tonight.
Just to go back to what I was saying about Chiellini, that ball over the top to Embolo, he didn't want to go at all. In fact, he just retreated back towards his penalty area and hoped then that Di Lorenzo got back to stop the attack. I think that's something that Switzerland have got to look for. If the midfield players have got time to get the head up, can they just flick that one over the top and really test the two centre-backs?
Italy pressing very high, and Italy win a free kick 5-10 yards into opposition territory. Fouled by Shaqiri, who is not happy with the referee, but we'll just get a talking to. It's a very deliberate ploy of the Swiss to play out from the back. That's something that Vladimir Petkovic, the head coach, has introduced ever since he switched to a back three after the 2018 World Cup, and it comes with positives and it comes with negatives as well. Switzerland have been vulnerable when trying to play the ball out of defence at times in the last couple of years, and you can already see, Dean, that Italy are trying to make them force the issue.
They certainly are, but I think defensively as well, with doing that, they've got so many bodies back that it's going to be difficult, even if they win that ball back high up, the Italians, to then break through the Swiss defence. Very, very rigid out of possession. A 5-3-2.
Quarter of an hour gone. Talk Sport at Euro 2020. Italy 0, Switzerland 0. Insigne almost popped it through the middle to Immobile. Comes back to Insigne, who curls it high over the top, and the ball runs onto that blue carpet behind the goal, where the old running track at the Stadio Olimpico once was.
He's just a little artist, isn't he, Insigne? He's just got a little brush, and he just can see things that no one else can see. And when it comes and it's so congested and it's so fast, the speed of thought from Insigne is just so fantastic to watch. Just there, played straight into his feet without even looking. Just a little flick round the corner, 1-2 with Immobile. Tried to play it back to him, it didn't. Back to himself, and then straight away, first time shot.
That's the voice of Dean Ashton, former England striker, played in the Premier League as well, of course, with West Ham United and Norwich City. And we're watching a game between Italy and Switzerland that is goalless so far, but no less intriguing. Insigne trying to drive forward. Xhaka, the Swiss skipper, slides in to win it back. Xhaka, who, as Adrian mentioned pre-game, has dyed his hair bleach blonde this week. And now a free kick to Switzerland in their right wing-back position, right in front of Roberto Mancini.
It's a commentator's dream, isn't it, when a player does something like that, and he so far has been absolutely brilliant, because he needs to be, because the Italians have runners from midfield that look to get beyond Immobile. 3 times now I've seen Granit Xhaka do the work defensively, make sure he's switched on.
You've done it before, Dean, dyed your hair bleach blonde, am I right?
That was because my mum was a hairdresser and I was the guinea pig.
You had no choice.
That's what I tell everyone.
I certainly won't be doing it. Here's Spinazzola, near side of the field for Italy. He's that rampaging left wing back you might remember from the Turkey game, who loves to get forward. Played as a left winger for much of that opening night, as Italy was so dominant, of course. They won by 3-0. Lovely flick by Locatelli. And now Immobile, dead centre, 25 yards from goal, sprays it wide to the far side, and Berardi, who hooks up a high cross. Spinazzola trying to get underneath it. Mbabu got the touch for Switzerland, and he puts it behind, and Italy have the first corner of the game with 17.5 minutes played, 0-0.
And that's what's excellent about this Italian side, is because of the likes of Jorginho and Barella, they're able to switch the play really, really quickly and stretch the Swiss defence.
Plenty of height in this Italy side. Bonucci and Chiellini both forward. Di Lorenzo lurking as well. Insigne over the ball, near side, right-footed in, swinging delivery. Chiellini is there, and Chiellini has smashed it in. A goal for the skipper in Rome, and the celebrations are as joyous as you'd expect. Chiellini races to the near side, his mouth open, his fists clenched. The skipper has smashed it home from 6 yards. It's the perfect start for Italy, and they are heading ever closer to the knockout stages of Euro 2020. It is Italy 1, Switzerland 0.
Well, you can go and get every single Swiss fan and put them in the box, and I'm telling you, Chiellini is coming through every single one of them. He just comes piling through 2 defenders, smashes them both to the ground. It falls favourably to him inside the 6-yard box. He's even got time to smash it in.
VAR is checking for a potential handball by an Italy player leading up to the goal, and we'll have a look on our monitors, I'm sure, Dean Ashton, very shortly at that. The ball is back on the centre spot. I don't think anybody's expecting anything other than this goal to be given. Sebastian Dankert is the German VAR, and this check continues. There'll be a big cheer from the Italy fans if this is confirmed as a goal. And we now have a prolonged VAR check. It was difficult from our angle, Dean, to be able to tell, and that goal is still under review for a potential handball.
Absolutely. What's happened in the tournament, we don't tend to see many replays.
Oh, and the referee, to cheers that you can hear of the Swiss supporters, has ruled the goal out. The VAR has sent the message through that there was a handball by an Italy player in the build-up. It must have been Chiellini as he tried to force his way through, Dean, so the goal is disallowed and it's still 0-0.
Absolutely. I mean, how he can even know what's happening in this situation, because he's just barreled into 2 Swiss defenders. Yes, it's touched his hand, but how that can be given as not a goal, I do not know. But the rules are clear. If the ball touches the hand directly before the attacker then scores, then it's ruled off.
It is still Italy 0, Switzerland 0 live here on TalkSport. 20 minutes gone. Chiellini came so close against Turkey with a thumping header saved by the goalkeeper, and he's come even closer tonight. That goal ruled out after a VAR check, and Roberto Mancini, arms folded, stony-faced on the edge of his technical area. Never mind, though, say Italy, will come again, all in blue. Berardi, far side the right, back to Barella, infield to Locatelli. Locatelli back out wide to Barella again, out on the far side. And 4,000 Swiss supporters, no doubt very relieved. Jorginho, that metronome in midfield, holds off 2 in wide. Then it's lofted long by Chiellini up towards Insigne, but he's never going to beat Elvedi in the air. He's about half his size, and it's gone through to Sommer, all in light green, the goalkeeper.
No, but yes, he'll come short, but it'll also, when he then sees Elvedi come close to him, he'll then look to quickly spin in behind, which is why Chiellini tried to play that ball over the top, which he was never going to win in the air.
Remember, Italy will qualify for the last 16 with a win tonight. Wales are all but there after victory in Baku against Turkey earlier. Aaron Ramsey, Connor Roberts with the 2 goals. Remarkable scenes when Roberts scored the second late on to clinch it in stoppage time. It was all live on TalkSport, of course, as you'd expect. And the Euro Sports Bar will take all your reaction from 10 08717 223344. Where are you watching? Jason Cundy. Forward by Barella, up towards Immobile, steered away by a combination of Cher and Rodriguez for Switzerland. And Italy here, Dean Ashton, have just got to go again.
Well, yeah, all of a sudden it feels like, well, the Switzerland side, what are you going to do? How are you going to combat the fact that you're being pressed by Italy? Well, one way to do that is to be able to spin that ball over the top. Yes, you want to play out from the back, of course, I understand that. But then when you're being pressed really high, the next best thing is, when you know Chiellini and Bonucci are looking to push up, can you then just flick that one over the top, say to Mbolo and Severovic, get yourselves up the pitch, get yourself over the top, and it might just open up some space.
Lovely play by Ricardo Rodriguez to force it down the far side, the left to Shaqiri. Shaqiri looks up and crosses deep to the far post, and Babu is there. It'll be picked up by Mbolo on the near side by the corner flag. Infield to Remo Freuler, his first meaningful touch. Floated into the box by Xhaka. It's too long for Seferovic, and through it goes to Donnarumma, all in yellow. The goalkeeper who is about to move to PSG. He has a medical scheduled for the days after this match. And Donnarumma, by the way, now just 22, the youngest keeper to play at a major tournament for Italy. But there's an issue for Chiellini here. He's taken the captain's armband off.
He's done.
And this is a great shame for the skipper. Chiellini gets a couple of handshakes from his teammates, a pat on the back from Donnarumma, a high five with Locatelli, and Chiellini walking across to the near side. His race is run as far as this second group game is concerned. I wonder what it might mean for his tournament, Dean. It's hard to tell exactly what the injury is because he's walking off at relatively normal pace at the moment. He doesn't look like he's injured, but he is, and Francesco Acerbi is going to come on as his replacement.
Well, just his facial expressions and the way he looks like he's talking to the Italian medical team and management is that it's not too bad, but there's obviously clearly he's felt something, whether it's a slight tweak in the hamstring, is possibly, it has to be something muscular, you would have to think, for it to happen so quickly without seeing anything untoward. But a big blow for the Italians.
And what a shame for Chiellini, having had a goal ruled out after a VAR review. The captain now has to come off injured. The armband is passed to Bonucci, and it's Francesco Acerbi of Lazio, so he knows this stadium very well. Lazio, of course, play their home games at the Olimpico. He's the man to come on. What an opportunity for him at Euro 2020. He said this week Roberto Mancini is building something special, and now he can really be a part of it. 25 gone, Italy 0, Switzerland 0, and former England striker Dean Ashton, your thoughts on what we've seen so far?
Well, they've been dominant, haven't they, Italy? Similar to the Turkey game. Brilliant intensity, energy from all the players, but quality to go with it as well, pushing the Swiss back.
Here's Berardi darting towards the corner of the penalty area, down the right-hand side. Can he drill the ball in? No, he can! And Locatelli is there to tap it in from inside the 6-yard box, and that one will count all right. Locatelli races away to the near side in celebration, and irresistible Italy have the goal. And is that the goal that takes them through to the knockout stages? It is now Italy 1, Switzerland 0.
Well, there was no build-up to this goal. It was just a swift counter-attack from the Italians, and once the ball goes out to Berardi, I mean, he is some player, by the way. Just drifts with that left foot of his, almost Chris Waddle-esque in the way that he feints as if he's going to go one way, and then suddenly he's gone past the defender, and he doesn't even look that quick, Berardi. But then when you need just that little bit of composure to make sure you get your head up and spot your attacker, he does it brilliantly. He just side foots it across the box, and there you want a midfield player or a striker running in. Locatelli from midfield, thank you very much, side foot from 4 yards.
1-0, and Locatelli, the Sassuolo player who has impressed so much in Serie A in the 2020-21 season, he's been linked with moves to all sorts of clubs. Just his second goal for the Italian national side, and his first at a major tournament. And Italy deservedly lead in Rome, and as things stand, they're heading through to the last 16 of Euro 2020. Dean, it's been coming, hasn't it?
Well, it certainly has. I mean, Switzerland haven't been in the game at all, and they've allowed Italy to get this head of steam up, get into their rhythm.
Might be a chance for Freuler inside the penalty area, looking to spin and turn, smuggled away by Acerbi though, and Berardi trying to break, having done so well to set up that opening goal. And now Rodriguez going for goal from 40 yards, the Swiss left wing back, and you can hear the boos and whistles of the crowd as that flies high and miles over the top at the south end of the stadium.
I mean, once they get into their rhythm, Italy. You can just see every single one of the players. There seems to be a real cohesion between the side, and I'm talking defensively. As soon as that ball's lost, they're in a great shape. They're all looking to press. Bonucci especially, or Chiellini when he was on, forcing their side to squeeze up and make it really difficult for the Swiss to play out.
Delight for the majority here inside the stadium. 12,000 or so Italy supporters. Italy heading for 10 straight victories for only the second time in the history of the national team. The last time they achieved that was 10 in a run of 11 in and around the qualifying period for this tournament under Roberto Mancini. Remember, when he took over, Italy were in a mess. They just failed to qualify for the World Cup in 2018. He has turned things around, and they have to be serious contenders. Xhaka trying to smuggle his way through beyond 3 in blue. He's nudged it wide to the near side of Mbabu, and Mbabu controls well, opens his body, then twists inside Spinazzola, looking to dart into the penalty area. Back it goes to Freuler infield to Xhaka. Italy have everybody back behind the ball, and remember, Italy have now not conceded in over 900 minutes of football. They look ominously impressive at both ends of the field. Barella swings it cross field, right to left. It cuts through the dark night sky. Mancini still wants more, his arms outstretched, and Italy have it back in the centre circle, and now Jorginho at walking pace. Great to watch, Dean.
Yeah, honestly, they've been fantastic in the first game, and now in this first half they look the real deal, the Italians.
Ball hit high and long up towards Immobile. He won't get there. It's 1-0 to Italy with just under half an hour gone. Remember, Friday night, England against Scotland, live on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 from Wembley Stadium. We'll have our England-focused commentary on TalkSport and our Scotland-focused commentary on 2. Hope you can join us. And the action will just continue as the days go on. Wales play Italy here on Sunday live on TalkSport. Every game of the tournament is live on the network. Tomorrow we've got Ukraine, North Macedonia, Denmark against Belgium, and the Netherlands against Austria. Both those teams have already provided entertaining opening games. Here's Shaqiri for Switzerland, Mbabu with the dreadlocks on his outside. This near side the right for Switzerland, plays it back to Freuler, the number 8. Square ball to Xhaka, juggles it high up into the air, plays it back to Akanji at the lip of the centre circle. Manuel Akanji, who like Granit Xhaka, has dyed his hair blonde this week. Rodriguez out on the far side, infield to the run of Seferovic, who's trying to make things happen but has hardly had a kick so far, the big striker. And Dean, it must be tough in his position. You as a former striker would know.
It is, but when you think of the impact that Seferovic and Bolo had on Wales, they've not been in the game at all, and they're taking too long to even get their heads up to look for the 2 forwards. If you're going to play with 2 centre forwards, then you've got to use them. There's no point just keep playing nice tippy-tappy football without thinking at some point, can I get it into our centre forwards?
I've just seen a shot of Chiellini on our monitors sitting in the dugout. Doesn't look in too much discomfort, but we'll get more on that injury later on. Chiellini forced off, but Italy lead by a goal to 0. Locatelli with a tap in from inside the 6-yard box. And Switzerland, who haven't beaten Italy since 1993, under real pressure now, particularly after that victory for Wales earlier on. Switzerland's final game in the group, of course, is against Turkey in Baku in Azerbaijan. That will be live on TalkSport 2 at the same time as Italy-Wales. Xhaka drops deep inside his own half to receive possession again. Square to the tall, lean defender Akanji. Switzerland once more determined to play out from the back. Sommer here goes square to the near side and share. All the time there are Italy players pressing really high, right at the heels of those Swiss players in white. And in the end, they just about escape up towards the halfway line and win a throw.
I just can't understand why they're not looking in behind now and again, trying to switch it up. It's very slow, it's very methodical, their build-up out from the back. The Italians have just taken a breather, I think, just getting in their shape, making sure they're shadowing the play. If I'm Seferovic and Bolo, I'm starting to go mad saying, hang on, you need to get us in the game.
Haven't been in the game at all so far. Brel and Bolo, whose header helped secure a point for the Swiss against Wales. Seferovic was guilty of missing a number of gilt-edged opportunities, though. Here's an opportunity down the left-hand side for Immobile, inside the penalty area, onto his left foot, out comes Sommer, makes a good save, the loose ball falls to Insigne, he tries to bend it goalwards, it's headed off the line by Akanji. What a goal that would have been from Insigne, from an almost impossible angle. He tried to loft it over the head of the goalkeeper, which he did so, but Akanji was back on the line to head it clear, and it's still just 1-0 to Italy.
Immobile's was the real chance, though. He went to shoot with his right foot and then cut back onto his left, but that touch was too strong, and Yann Sommer was out like a flash just to palm it away. And then you're right, so inventive from Insigne, looking just to chip that in over the top of Akanji.
Sort of brought back some memories of a goal that Kanu once scored for Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, lofting it over 3 players on the line. This wasn't quite the same angle for Insigne, but it was a tremendous effort regardless. Here's Seferovic just shy of halfway, feeds Embolo, Embolo knocks it wide to the near side, but Spinazzola there to intercept. Dean, you are absolutely right, by the way, in terms of your diagnosis of the Chiellini injury. There are reports that it's a hamstring problem, which is exactly as you suggested.
Yeah, just for him to react so quickly, great ball.
Insigne trying to poke it through to Immobile, who looks offside, and indeed up goes the flag. It's a free kick to Switzerland. 34 gone, Italy 1, Switzerland 0 on TalkSport. But how difficult is that an issue for Chiellini, a hamstring injury? Could that mean he misses a game, or could it be more than that?
Yeah, absolutely. You would expect him to miss the game against Wales, no doubt whatsoever. For him to have to come off, he must have felt it enough, so I'd be amazed if he was fit to play in that game. But with his experience, he may just have felt something and thought, I know I need to come off. Somebody without his experience might have thought, I've just got to carry on, this is a big opportunity for me. And hopefully that means he hasn't got. This is a great chance though.
Shaqiri breaking through the middle. He's got Rodriguez in lots of space on the left hand side. Rodriguez plays it across towards Seferovic, cut out at the near post by Di Lorenzo. It probably should have been much more for Switzerland. In the end, it's only a corner.
Oh, it should have been. They were outnumbered, the Italians, 4-3. They picked the right pass, and then Rodriguez just has to pick out the right cross and instead smashes it against Di Lorenzo.
Rodriguez will take it out on that far side. Plenty forward in white for the Swiss. Italy, who haven't conceded since October, have everybody back. In by Rodriguez, lofted high to the far post. Insigne scrambles it away. Now Italy can come forward on the counter-attack. Barella charging at pace. It's 3 against 2. Barella has Immobile to his right. Further wide is Berardi. Berardi on the edge of the penalty area. Good block. Xhaka and Freuler converging on Berardi, and now all of a sudden it's a little bit end-to-end. Berardi showing incredible energy to win it back momentarily, but then it's whipped off his toes by Shaqiri, who goes wide to the far side, and Rodriguez back in field to Xhaka 10 yards into the opposition half.
Well, they've got to take these chances, haven't they, Switzerland, in terms of opening the game up, maybe exposing themselves to another counter-attack, but they've got to get more players into that attacking third if they're going to cause Italy any problems.
Good interception by Insigne, albeit inside his own half. He's popped it down the left to Spinazzola though. He's only got Immobile up with him. Spinazzola goes on into the penalty area and he pokes it wide on his right foot. Nobody came towards Leonardo Spinazzola, so he just went on and on and on. In the end he ran fully 50 yards into the box. Then, only then, did Elvedi come towards him, and Spinazzola pokes it wide. He's still looking for his first Italy goal.
Well, my only instinct was that Fabian Schär is injured, because he just backed away all the way from halfway in his own half back into the 18-yard box, allowing Spinazzola to get into the position to try and poke it towards goal. He's on his haunches holding the back of his knee. You can't allow a player to get himself into the box and threaten the goal.
Schär, who has had injury problems at Newcastle, of course, over the last year, was just bent double there momentarily. and he sort of squatted down for a second, didn't he, Dean? So we'll have to keep an eye on that. The two big screens at either end of the stadium, helping us see replays of the action and reminding us of the scoreline that it's Italy 1, Switzerland 0. Italy heading through to the knockout stages. The Euro Sports Bar, once we're done here from the stadium on TalkSport, 08717 22 3344, the number to call. What about Wales? 2-0 winners in Turkey to all but, you feel, guarantee their passage through, especially given that 4 of the best third place sides in the group stages will make it to the last 16. Kanji's on the ball for Switzerland. Forward to the halfway line. Seferovic holds it up. Goes back to Rodriguez. Just shy of halfway. There's a camera on a long wire that's sweeping from one end of the stadium to another all the time. Seferovic out to the left and Rodriguez. There are 3 in the middle in white. No great height though for Switzerland when Seferovic isn't in the box, and Berardi again, absolutely tireless, comes back to win it back, and now Insigne charges over halfway. Spinazzola in support on the left hand side. Immobile and Barella the only 2 in the middle, and Spinazzola wins a corner.
Once again, Spinazzola, absolutely magnificent. Just as a wide player, when you get that ball, it must be a dream. It must be a dream to just know you've got your left back absolutely marauding down the left-hand side every single time. And what it does is it makes the fullback make a decision. He's either got to come to you and you can play it to the fullback, or he goes to the fullback and you can go inside. It's just brilliant effort from Spinazzola.
Insigne, hands on hips over the ball. Remember, they had a goal disallowed from a corner earlier on, Italy. Insigne just re-spotting it. It's away to the left as we look at it, in front of the north end where most of the Swiss fans are housed. In by Insigne, right-footed, punched away double-handed by the long-haired goalkeeper Sommer. Drops down to Berardi, midway inside opposition territory. That's a lovely cultured ball. Cross-fielded out to the far side, and now edge of the box is Barella, dinks it into the penalty area towards Locatelli, thumped away on the volley by Freuler, and it's an Italy corner on the opposite side, the far side this time.
Yeah, cheap though. He didn't need to give that away. He needed just to listen to his goalkeeper Sommer, who gave him a shout just to leave it. Instead he hacked it away and given away another corner.
1-0 to Italy on TalkSport. 5 minutes of normal time remaining at the end of the first half. Bonucci's forward, Immobile's there. Locatelli lurking in the 6-yard box, having already scored 1 today. Berardi swings it in devilishly, left-footed, headed away by Akanji. A little flick by Mbolo gets it further clear of the box, but it's straight back into the possession of the Azzurri. Italy, who have only won the European Championships once, and that was back in 1968. Albeit up against a Swiss side who've only ever won 2 games at this tournament. Bonucci wearing the captain's armband. Now Jorginho centre circle, pops it off and gets it back from Locatelli, then steers it wide to the near side, low along the ground for Insigne. Great reverse ball towards Immobile. Is he onside? He's pulled it back across. Goalkeeper got his glove to it. Nobody in blue there to pounce on the loose ball for Italy. Roberto Mancini, I think, not happy about that. He threw his arms up in frustration, and the Swiss survive again, and they win a free kick just shy of halfway.
Well, what you need is, if you've got somebody with the ability of Insigne who can get his head up and find space, is then you need the movement. And Kieran Immobile, just brilliant off the back of the centre-back Fabien Schär, who can't see him. His angle's very, very poor from the defender, and Immobile maybe just a fraction too far as he was stretching to cross that.
That's the voice of Dean Ashton, former Premier League striker and played at international level with England as well. Live on TalkSport at the Olympia. Our photographers, a row of them right in front of our commentary position. We've got colleagues from radio and television close by, and Perspex glass in front of the commentary box. As Schär smacks the ball high and long, Donnarumma comes outside his penalty area, cushions a header to the left-hand side in Acerbi, who goes back to the very confident goalkeeper who in the end hacks it out of play with Mbabu darting towards it.
Yeah, makes the right decision in the end, Donnarumma. If you can't play out, then make sure you just get it away and reset.
Because some goalkeepers would have tried to dribble beyond Mbabu there with,
absolutely.
with awful consequences. Here is Cher. The stadium just goes quiet for one of the first times in the match. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remaining at the end of the first period. Italy 1, Switzerland 0. Cher balloons the ball cross-field, chested down well by Ricardo Rodriguez, but then his second touch was heavy. Di Lorenzo shepherds the ball out of play. It's a goal kick to Italy.
It's just so poor, isn't it, from Rodriguez? Brilliant pass from Fabian Cher, fully 50 yards onto the chest of Rodriguez, who chested it down and then just shinned it out of play, and then suddenly that momentum has gone again.
Muggy tonight in Rome, the sun has set, and Italy have a goal kick away to the right hand side, which Donnarumma takes. Very short ball to Bonucci. Bonucci pops it long, cleverly up towards Jorginho, and the referee blows for a free kick, fouled by Rodriguez. And Italy have been comfortable, Dean Ashton, and they might feel they should be more than a goal up.
Possibly, but they have been so comfortable. Don't look like they've been stretched, don't even look like they've got out of third gear. It's been pretty easy, I'd have to say. I've been disappointed with Switzerland when you've got two strikers and Shaqiri playing in behind. You've got to have more of a threat than they have posed in this first half.
Well, they had some encouraging signs in 2020, Switzerland, draws with the likes of Germany and Spain, but tournament football is a different prospect altogether, particularly when you're up against a side like Italy, who've been unbeaten for so long. And now Embolo for Switzerland with his back to goal, looking to spin away from Acerbi, gets the dead ball line. I think they both had hold of each other's shirts, and in the end Embolo couldn't get it back into play. Acerbi does enough, and it's a goal kick.
No, but great to see, isn't it? Embolo taking the centre back, Acerbi, out into the wide area. Had the beating of him, I felt. Acerbi just about, he's unlucky not to get a corner actually, Embolo, but that's what he's got to do. He's got to get himself into the game, give the centre backs something to think about.
Vladimir Petkovic, the Swiss head coach, is stood on the edge of his technical area, the dark suit on. He speaks several different languages, does Petkovic. Very intelligent man who's evolved the Swiss style over the years. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half on Talk Sport. Italy leads Switzerland by a 1-0 and are set to secure their place in the last 16 of the competition. They'll be the first side at Euro 2020 to do so if it stays like this. A reminder, Wales 2-0 winners in Turkey earlier to move on to 4 points in Group A. Cher over the halfway line, poor pass, and now Italy have got 3 against 3, though they are on the halfway line. Insigne quickly moves into opposition territory, Immobile up with him, Insigne up into the penalty area at a tight angle, tried to play it across with the outside of his boots, got nothing really behind it, then Shaqiri with a very casual pass straight to Elvedi. Elvedi hacks it clear, but only as far as the midway point of his own half, and it's come back to Insigne, up towards Immobile. You don't want to give those two time to spin and turn and use their creativity and ingenuity, but Mbabu's intercepted well and is now racing down the right hand side for Switzerland. Embolo and Seferovic up with him. Mbabu's held it up well, plays it up to the edge of the penalty area, and it's beyond Seferovic. Di Lorenzo quite cleverly let it run between his legs, and out of play it goes for a goal kick to Italy. We are 1 minute and 30 seconds into stoppage time, Dean Ashton. That's probably going to be just about that for the first half.
Well, another disappointing end to only a couple of counter-attacks that Switzerland have had, and brilliant, clever defending from Di Lorenzo. Went as if he was going to smash it clear, let it through his legs, out for a goal kick.
Italy just content to keep possession now and continue this incredible run of matches without conceding, looking to make it 10 wins in a row tonight, and they are halfway there, and they are halfway to the knockout stages of Euro 2020 as the half-time whistle goes. Italy impress again. They had an early goal ruled out Chiellini denied after a VAR review. He then had to go off injured. It looks like a hamstring problem if reports are to be believed. But as the on-field action continued, Locatelli's tap-in, his first goal at a major tournament for Italy, is the goal that separates the two sides. The vast majority in the Olimpico happy as things stand. At the break on Talk Sport, Italy 1, Switzerland 0. And I would know about tiramisu, and that was even better. A half-time change for the Swiss beneath the floodlights. Mario Gavranovic on, just as he came on against Wales in the opening Group A game, and impressed he had a goal disallowed after a VAR review that would have put the Swiss into the lead. And it's Haris Seferovic, the number 9, who once again has failed to impress on the international stage. He's the player who's come off. I'll give you the two sides in full in a second, but Shaqiri has gone for goal from 30 yards. It's taken a huge deflection, and the Swiss playing from right to left in the second half towards the north end where their band of supporters are housed, 4,000 or so. The Swiss in white have a corner on the near side deep.
They do, and that's what he needs to do, Shaqiri. That's his lethal weapon, is that left foot. If he gets a chance outside the box, take it.
Italy all in blue. Switzerland with this early corner. Rodriguez out-swinging delivery. Up go the heads, and it's wide. Glance wide by Elvedi. And out of play for a goal kick to Italy, who, as things stand, leading by a goal to nil, heading to the last 16 of Euro 2020. Donnarumma is their goalkeeper. Di Lorenzo, Bonucci, Acerbi, who had to replace Chiellini in the first half, and Spinazzola at the back four. Barella, Jorginho and Locatelli, the goal scorer, in front of them. Italy having to be very careful when playing the ball out from the back, and the Swiss are pressing high, but Italy have worked it wide somehow into the right back position despite very high pressing from those Swiss players in white. Italy with Berardi, Immobile and Insigne up front. The Swiss, Sommer in goal, Elvedi, Cher and Akanji, Mbabu, Freuler, Xhaka, Rodriguez and Shaqiri in midfield, and Embolo and Gavranovic, the two furthest forward. And Gavranovic, by the way, does have an excellent goal scoring record for his country, almost a rate of 1 in 2, and he did score a hat-trick in their final warm-up game pre-Euro 2020, albeit it was against Liechtenstein.
But I thought he looked really, really lively when he came on in the first game, and probably felt a little bit hard done by that he wasn't starting this game. So can he have the impact that he did in that first game? They need him to.
Still hot and humid and the air thick on a dark night in Rome. Xhaka with his blonde hair spins and turns left of the centre circle. Roberto Mancini, the Italian head coach, Serie A winner of course, and a Premier League winner with Manchester City, with his arms folded on the touchline as Bonucci has to poke it away from Embolo, the sprightly, lively striker. Great technical ability as well as physical presence. Now a chance for Mbabu to cross from the right-hand side, looping towards the far post. Di Lorenzo gets a glance on it. Otherwise, Rodriguez would have been coming in right at the back post, and it's been a positive start to the second half for Switzerland, though they still trail by a goal to nil.
It is, and that all started from a fantastic pass from Fabian Cher right into the feet of Embolo, who's looking to spin him behind, and that's what caused the problems and eventually the cross. And they've got to look for that earlier. They've got to look for it more.
Talk Sport at Euro 2020. Every game live across the network, including England against Scotland on Friday night. Live on both Talk Sport and Talk Sport 2. On Talk Sport we'll have your England-focused commentary with Stuart Pearce and Sol Campbell joining Jim Proudfoot. And on Talk Sport 2 the commentary will be Scotland-focused. As Bonucci very nearly lost the ball to Gavranovic on the edge of his own box. He was clipped late, caught late, and straight away the Russian referee Sergei Karasev out with the yellow card for Gavranovic, and it's a free kick to Italy.
Yeah, I'm afraid you get a yellow card now for that. The one where you, as a forward, go and try and close down, and even if you don't necessarily have your stud showing, which Gavranovic doesn't, as the defender goes to clear, if his leg then comes through and hits your thigh and he then goes down screaming, then you tend to get a yellow card.
Well, they were a bit more amiable, those Swiss fans in red earlier, when they were wandering the streets of Rome and heading to places like the Trevi Fountain and the Colosseum, those classic tourist attractions. They were all smiles, but not so much now. Delight for the vast majority of the crowd. Delight for the locals here in the Italian capital. Italy 1, Switzerland 0 on TalkSport. Donnarumma steers it out to the right back position. Italy determined, like Switzerland do, to play out from the back. And now Immobile, deep inside his own half. Jorginho pops it forward. That's a great run by Locatelli, but he couldn't steer it wide left to Insigne, Dean Ashton.
No, but I mean, look, it's such difficult play, the way they're trying to pierce their way through the middle of the pitch.
Berardi was caught in a 50-50 challenge with Cher. They've both gone down injured, and the referee stops the game again. We wait for the sets of medical personnel to come onto the field. Berardi is rolling around, clutching his leg, and Cher likewise.
Well, I'd like to know whether Berardi's just putting this on, whether he's the one that then comes through Fabian Cher. Doesn't take much of a whack, but if he gets away without a yellow card for that, he's very, very lucky considering what Gavranovic has just got.
It's the free kick for Italy, just shy of the halfway line. And Berardi limps to his feet. So too does Fabian Cher, who I mentioned in the first half missed a big chunk of last season for Newcastle with a knee ligament problem. And thankfully, he is moving well. Our commentary position, by the way, just to remind you, set well back from the halfway line, just to the left of centre as we look at it. Bird's eye view as Mbabu tries to cross on the right for Switzerland. All around us there are flags of both nations, the red and white for Switzerland, the blue, red and white for Italy, as they're on the attack now, the Azzurri. It's Berardi, caught in the penalty area, plays it square. Oh, he didn't quite get it back there, Berardi. It was smuggled away by Cher, just in the nick of time for Switzerland. It has come back though to Di Lorenzo. Now Barella spinning and turning with his back to goal. Square to Locatelli, left-footed effort, 2-0! Locatelli from distance, and it's supreme for Italy. They are running away with it again here in Rome, and they are serious contenders surely at Euro 2020. A second for Locatelli, a night to remember in the Eternal City for the Sassuolo midfielder. It is Italy 2, Switzerland 0.
They just cannot cope, Switzerland, with the quality of this Italian side. And Locatelli, when it comes out towards the edge of the box, he just takes one touch out of his feet, and then with that left foot, it's a zinger, it's a pinger, it's a driller right into the bottom corner. Jan Sommer, no chance. It probably stays about a yard off the floor as it absolutely fires towards the corner. What a wonderful finish from Locatelli.
Rolls off the tongue nicely, doesn't it? 2-0 to Italy. Just cruising to the last 16. And there isn't so much a gulf in quality as a chasm in quality. And Switzerland, they have 11 on the pitch, just like their opponents, but you wouldn't be able to tell. Italy is so fluid and free-flowing, and you think that you've got them sussed out, you think you've got enough men behind the ball, Dean, but then all of a sudden there's acres of space, and Locatelli pinpoint accuracy into the bottom corner.
And again, it just shows the simplicity of playing one touch when done as well as the Italians have done it. It's just so hard to defend against. It really is. The quality through midfield and then out wide, and then when it comes to Locatelli, you suddenly find yourself outnumbered.
7.5 minutes into the second half on Talk Sport. Italy 2, Switzerland 0, and Immobile is looking to break now. Now he thought that he was fouled by Akanji, who came towards him with a crunching challenge. Locatelli, Immobile rather, threw himself to the floor. The referee not remotely interested, and play continues. Here is Elvedi over the halfway line. The Italian fans chanting and clapping and cheering. Everywhere you look again, those flags have been unfurled. Green, white and red. And here they come again. Barella looking to dart through the middle. Can he get away from Akanji? No, he can't. The defender, tall and strong, did just enough to block him off. Out of play it goes for a Switzerland throw in the right back position. A beleaguered Switzerland here.
Yeah, I mean, the runners from midfield is what they can't cope with, because they're outnumbered in midfield. Shaqiri's giving you absolutely nothing defensively. There's no point in him being there in a defensive unit. So basically, Freuler and Xhaka are up against 3, sometimes 4 when Insigne comes nice and narrow, and they just can't cope. The runners off them, off the back of them, too difficult to handle. They're then stretching the back 3 as well.
Dean Ashton, former England striker, with me in the commentary position. Dean and I will be back with Adrian Durham for Italy against Wales at Euro 2020 this Sunday. A 5 o'clock kickoff live on Talk Sports. Wales, who won in Baku against Turkey earlier today by 2-0. What a heroic display that was. So Wales, 4 points from 2 games. They're virtually there, aren't they? Italy are going to be mathematically definitely there with the score as it is. They need to win tonight to confirm that spot in the knockout stages, and they are comfortable at 2-0 against Switzerland, though Mancini has spent the entire game on the edge of his technical area issuing instructions, and still looks like a Mandine who, once more, he's not satisfied just yet.
Absolutely, yeah. The standards that he's been setting since he's been manager have got to this point. Why they've been on such a good run.
Insigne has lofted it down the left-hand side for Spinazzola to chase. Hugging the left-hand touchline, plays it back to Locatelli, who is on a hat-trick. And now Insigne, squared to Immobile. Immobile forward to Berardi, looking to knock the ball in field from midway inside opposition territory. The Swiss smuggle it clear. Now Shaqiri, a stocky player looking to race forward, whipped off his toes by Insigne in a flash. You could probably barely hear him behind him, Shaqiri. Insigne, who is so deft-footed, and he just swiped it off the toes of Shaqiri before he even was able to glance down.
Because there's no big-time Charlies in this Italian side. They work for each other. They're all happy to muck in, chase back, as we saw there from Insigne, and then once they get it back, they can relax again, keep possession, and just break away the resolve of the Swiss team.
10 minutes into the second half, Italy 2, Switzerland 0. I don't really see where the belief in this Switzerland side is at the moment. Certainly not as far as this game is concerned. They still have one game left, of course, against Turkey in Group A to come, and they're going to make a double change very shortly. The head coach, Vladimir Petkovic, with his silver hair and his dark suit on, just giving some last-minute instructions. Sylvain Widmer, a defender, is going to take to the field, and Steven Zuber, who is a wing player, is also going to come on. And confirmation of the 2 players to come off. Fabian Schär is one of them. That might be injury-related, and maybe, Dean, Switzerland are thinking about that final game against Turkey now. Who knows?
I think so. Yeah, he was clearly struggling in that first half, and he's not looked comfortable in the second either.
Kevin Mbabu, the former Newcastle player, is the other man to leave the field. So one player currently at Newcastle, the other player ex-Newcastle, and it's Zuber and Widmer who are the 2 to come on for Switzerland, with the Swiss 2-0 down, and Italy have won a free kick in the right wing position deep inside opposition territory. 08717 223344 for the Euro Sports Bar with Andy and Jason. Once we're off air tonight on TalkSport.
Well, I just wonder whether Petkovic is maybe looking just to change the formation, maybe go to a back 4. Rodriguez can slip back in, Vidmar to the right at right back, and give an extra man in midfield, which, as I just said earlier, was a place that they were really struggling in.
Berardi and Insigne both over the ball. Italy, remember, scored 3 against Turkey in the opening game. Insigne whips it in. It's a great delivery, hooked away on the stretch and away from danger by Gavranovic. That was a fantastic acrobatic clearance, because that was bent into an area, Dean Ashton, in between goalkeeper and back line, where sometimes that sort of cross can be so dangerous.
Absolutely. You know, you can't let yourselves get your heads down. I mean, look, at the moment you're being well beaten by the Italians, but they have got to think goal difference. If we were then to beat Turkey in the next game, getting a goal in this game, not letting any more in, it could be crucial.
Italy, the team in blue, the team playing from left to right, are the team very much in control. Switzerland fans standing up in the northeast corner of this bowl-shaped stadium, the Olympic Stadium, trying to make themselves heard, but not singing with much hope as things stand. Here's Mbolo, lip of the centre circle, square to Shaqiri. Now back to Rodriguez, he's slotted into the left of the back 3. Zuber's playing as a left wing back now, with Widmer out on the right-hand side of the 5, if you like. And Rodriguez goes down, and now with the ponytail, the number 13 shirt on, and wins a free kick inside the centre circle.
Other than the enforced change for Mancini, though, no sign of any other changes. You'd think 2-0, comfortable. He might just want to rest a couple, but I guess maybe once this game's done and they're through, then maybe can rest against Wales.
As a player, Dean, as Embolo hits the ball way too long, it's out for a goal kick to Italy. Do you want to play every minute of every game at this point? If you're in Insigne, if you're in Immobile, surely you want to stay until the final whistle.
Oh, of course you do. Of course you do. You know, these are special moments. Tournament football in front of your home fans in Rome. Of course you want to play. But the manager's also got to think, this is a long tournament. Where can I, squeeze a little rest for certain players here and there?
We've seen the passion today at the fan park in the build-up and on the route to the stadium, the historic stadium. Here's Shaqiri for Switzerland, 30 yards out, darting through the middle. It's an excellent run from Shaqiri, and the left-footed effort is flashed high over the bar.
Yeah, sadly his end product's been very poor, Shaqiri. He's not played a lot of football this season for Liverpool, and you can tell he lacks that real sharpness, especially in front of goal. And that was evident in that attempt. Normally you're expecting him with his left foot to hit the target, and that was a good 10 yards over the crossbar.
Italy almost caught out. Bonucci there had to step away from Zuba, but they are so calm, they are so cool.
Where's the midfield?
Jorginho's racing forward. There's nobody really back for Switzerland. Jorginho's played it towards the left-hand side, could fall for Immobile inside the penalty area. Berardi looked to lay it square for Barella. It was slightly behind him. Barella, edge of the 18-yard box. Now the midfield's finally got back, belatedly. Xhaka and Freuler just about behind the ball. That was exactly what you and Adrian talked about at half-time. You've got to be a willing runner, if nothing else.
I mean, there was just there wasn't
the freedom of the turf.
There wasn't a midfield. There wasn't a midfield, and none of the defenders want to engage and come out of the space because they know there'll be a runner in behind them.
And Italy were charging towards that exposed back three. Switzerland didn't concede a third. Italy lead 2-0 on TalkSport. Over an hour played now, and the Olays ringing around the Olimpica, and the boos as Switzerland win it back. Locatelli concedes a free kick on a hat-trick. No Italian player has scored a hat-trick at the European Championships, and if there was to be somebody at Euro 2020 to break that record, you probably wouldn't have said Locatelli. But can you see why, Dean Ashton, that the very capable technical midfielder has been linked with so many clubs, some of them in the Premier League?
Oh, of course you can, yeah. I mean, I thought he was excellent in the first game. And, you then just wonder, when Verratti is fit and ready to start, who is it that's going to miss out in that midfield area? Because Locatelli has given the manager a real headache. Barella, maybe. The one that's maybe not quite shone as much, but great options to have.
Forward by Acerbi, hanging up high towards the halfway line, beneath the dark Rome sky. Still very warm here, over the head of Immobile, and Switzerland have it with Xhaka, clever ball, out to the right hand side, taken up by Shaqiri, very direct, out wide to the far side, and Widmer hugging that touchline, the number 3. Now Nico Elvedi with the blonde hair, the number 4. Shaqiri looks up, midway inside opposition territory, trying to whip the reverse pass through the middle towards Widmer again, well intercepted by Acerbi on the stretch. Italy trying to counter through Insigne, loses out to Elvedi. Elvedi driving forward the Swiss centre-half, up to the edge of the penalty area, square to Embolo. Embolo on to Gavranovic. Gavranovic plays it out to Zuba! Good save by Donnarumma. Zuba will put it back again. Donnarumma is there. The Italian goalkeeper celebrates. Big pump of his fist. That's how much yet another clean sheet would mean to him and mean to Italy. And the giant Gigi Donnarumma makes a super stop.
Well, they just played it all the way across the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, eventually finding the extra man in Zuba, who hit it hard and low, and good save from Donnarumma with his feet. I think in them really tight angles near the goal, I think if goalkeepers can use their feet rather than going down low with their hands, can they use the feet like David De Gea did so well a few years ago, and Donnarumma, brilliant.
Gigi Buffon is in the crowd tonight. There was a big cheer when his face flashed up on the big screen earlier. He would have been proud of that. Jorginho for Italy, the metronome, up to Locatelli, the scorer of both goals, out wide to Berardi, the tormentor, Berardi into the penalty area, left-footed effort, hammers it high over the top. Well, sometimes it's champagne stuff from Italy, but it is only 2-0.
Again, just magnificent from Berardi. The problem is for the defender is he's happy to go both ways. He's happy to come in on his left, he's happy then to fake and go on his right. And this time, instead of going down the line like he did for the opening goal, he just cuts it onto his left foot, and then in his attempt to snatch at the chance because he felt like there was a tackle coming in, just leaning back slightly, up and away.
Well, Dean, you talked about potential changes for Italy. We are 20 minutes into the second half and at least one, maybe two on the way. Mancini has his arm around Federico Chiesa. He's only ever scored one Italy goal, the Juventus man, but did have a very decent Serie A season. He's on a 2-year loan at Juventus from Fiorentina. And Chiesa stripped and ready to come on in that Italy blue as the offside flag goes up against Immobile. And maybe this is a chance for Chiesa to really stake a claim, as I say, just that one Italy goal. But it's maybe a sign of the confidence of the coaching staff. They feel that they should have the points in the bag, and they should have qualification for the knockout stages in the bag at this point.
Well, like you said, it's still very, very warm, isn't it, in the stadium, let alone at pitch level, so an opportunity to give the players a slight rest. Why wouldn't you?
Long sleeve shirt was a mistake, Dean.
Yeah,
I have to say.
They're almost rolled up to my armpits.
We haven't even got any of that lovely gelato yet to cool us down. Maybe later. Here is Jorginho, shy of the centre circle, forward to Insigne, just 5'5", but so much presence on the field. Bonucci, midway inside his own half, to the right back position at Di Lorenzo. Chiesa hops up and down, waits to come on. Standing right in front of that Italy dugout. Now Jorginho, forward to Insigne. Good football this from Italy. Insigne flicks it through the middle towards Immobile. Well beaten to it by Widmer, who saw the danger coming and came across from right wing back. The Swiss don't look to me, Dean, like they believe they can get back into this match.
No, not at all. Not at all. And to be honest,
that's tough on their 4,000 fans, isn't it?
Of course it is, but it's dictated to by the Italians. If they sit off and allow Switzerland to have the ball, which they have done, then they maybe start to believe, but then all of a sudden they counter-attack and they look so threatening. I mean, that would have been absolutely outrageous if that pass had got to Immobile from Insigne.
Course of the game to go. The Italians are so determined not to concede. You can tell, you can just see it in their energy and their defensive diligence. Free kick won by Jorginho, shy of halfway. Everywhere you look there are signs spelling out the words Euro 2020 and Rome. The flags of both nations hanging up high at the top of both stands. A couple right in front of us, the flag of Italy and the flag of Switzerland to the right. Italy taking their time with this free kick. I think they're also going to bring on the defender Rafael Toloi, the Atalanta captain. He's getting some final instructions too from Alberigo Evani, the assistant to Roberto Mancini. Toloi, a giant centre-half, and this would be just his fourth Italy cap. 2-0 up Italy here against the Swiss. Wales 2-0 winners in Turkey, against Turkey in Baku earlier, live on TalkSport. And in Group B earlier it finished Finland 0, Russia 1. That was on TalkSport 2. So the double change. Insigne will surely get a standing ovation. Chiesa, his replacement. And I'm sure you can hear the noise. And the other change, well, it's Berardi who leaves the field. And Toloi earns his fourth Italy cap. He switched allegiance this year, having met FIFA's 5-year residency requirement. He was born in Brazil. Berardi takes the long walk off. I wonder whether Italy might reorganise here.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe just go to a back three with three in midfield and just Chiesa and Immobile in forward areas, which is exactly what they have done.
Will he feel he's got a point to prove, Chiesa, Dean?
I think any chance you get to be on the pitch, you'll feel that it's an opportunity to cast doubt into the manager's mind as to who he should pick. That's all you can do, but it would take something incredibly special from someone like Chiesa to even get a starting berth, I think, in the next game, considering how well the front three have done.
That's Dean Ashton, scored plenty of goals at Premier League level, played for England too. Switzerland in possession. Rodriguez, left of centre, forward to the halfway line, and Xhaka the captain. Rodriguez, high ball up to Mbolo, chested onto Ivanovic. The offside flag was up straight away. We were near enough in line with it to the left of the halfway line, and it looked offside for miles, and up goes that checkered flag again, and a free kick to Italy. And the crowd are really enjoying themselves here. There's a party atmosphere. In fact, there's a Mexican wave going round the stadium. Up go the arms, up go the green and white and red Italy flags. You're going to join in, Dean?
I wouldn't want to show too much allegiance to the Italians just yet, because if England were to meet them,
which could happen.
Which could happen, exactly.
England-Scotland live on Friday night across the TalkSport network. TalkSport for your England-focused commentary, TalkSport 2 for Scotland-focused coverage. Here is Jorginho, high crossfield ball, raking pass out towards Di Lorenzo near side. He's outmuscled Rodriguez. Di Lorenzo in the penalty area. Good block by Akanji coming across, and Di Lorenzo looking for his first Italy goal. Wasn't too far off it.
No, but a little bit selfish. Great ball over the top
to Zuber for Switzerland. The flag has stayed down. Zuber, left-hand edge of the 18-yard box, plays it square to Shaqiri, edge of the penalty area, steers it further wide to Vidma, back to Jean Shaqiri, lovely flick, left-footed shot. What a block that is! Stunning defending from Italy. Those levels of determination in evidence again, and Di Lorenzo, who went close at one end, has just raced back to make a tremendous block at the other end.
Brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. I think it's Zuber who was offside in the initial pass over the top, but they wasn't to know that, was they, as Shaqiri was to unleash one of his left foot rockets from 12 yards, and 2-3 blue shirts all diving in, happy to get the imprint of the ball on their thighs.
We saw that with Chiellini in the first game at 3-0 against Turkey, and he leads by example, doesn't he?
Well, it's that kind of attitude of, you celebrate your goals forwards, but they're in.
Immobile into the penalty area, right-footed effort, beyond the goalkeeper, but beyond the post and wide. And Ciro Immobile looking to make it 2-2 for the tournament. He'll be disappointed, I imagine, that he didn't hit the target.
Well, that says everything you need to know about this Swiss team and where they are mentally. Just one ball over the top from a free kick, and Immobile was in. And in the end, he wants to curl it into that far corner like Henry used to do so well, and instead, no curl.
A bit like Insigne curled it into the net.
Yes.
The final goal in the opening game. Italy looking to match that tonight. 2-0 up on TalkSport with 17 minutes to go. Tomorrow across the network, our commentary matches from Euro 2020. Ukraine against North Macedonia, Denmark against Belgium on TalkSport. That's followed by the Netherlands against Austria on TalkSport. Now Spinazzola, number 4 on the far side, put in from Vidma, and a throw to Italy.
I mean, it's strange, isn't it? This feels like there's a minute to go, or we're in stoppage time, and it's not. There's still possibly 20 minutes if you added time on to go. That's how comfortable Italy are.
I wonder if Petkovic, the Swiss head coach, is making calculations, and is he even thinking about goal difference, Dean, and the possibility of it coming down to that if Switzerland, if they were to win their final group game, and is he thinking about things like that?
I'd like to think so. I mean, of course you've got to believe that you can get back into the game. All it takes is a moment of magic, a good move, a set play, something, and all of a sudden it would put a little bit of nerves into this stadium.
Remember, 4 of the 4 best placed third place sides will go through to the round of 16. So there is a lot of incentive still for Switzerland, and that's why Wales are virtually guaranteed a spot, surely, having picked up 4 points now. Opportunity on the edge of the penalty area for Freuler, looking to dart through the middle. It's cleared away though by the giant Toloi. Italy on the counter-attack. Chiesa with real pace, striving through the middle, lays it left to Immobile, is it on goal again? And he's knocked it wide with his left foot this time, and twice now in the space of just a few minutes. Ciro Immobile has gone close to making it 3.
Yeah, this is an even better chance. It's a fantastic run from Chiesa, splitting the Swiss defence, and then just at the right moment releasing the pass, making sure that Immobile is still onside, and instead of trying to go for that curler with his right foot, this time he's trusted his left, and he shouldn't have, because he dragged it horribly wide.
Ruben Vargas of Augsburg in German football has come on for Switzerland, and Xherdan Shaqiri has left the field. Liverpool man, of course. Switzerland look a beaten team. Probably a question of how many Italy will get. Widmer trying to reach a raking ball downfield, a diagonal pass from Xhaka, but there's too much on it, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. The Euro Sports Bar follows us on Talk Sport. Andy and Jason ready to take your calls. 08717 223344. If you're a Wales fan, you probably want to give Jason a little bit of it back. What did he say? Dog and duck? Not today. Not today. 2-0 over Turkey in Baku. Wales up to 4 points. As Gavranovic tries to whip a ball into the penalty area for Switzerland. It's cleared away by Toloi again for Italy. And now Di Lorenzo just shy of the halfway line. Square ball to Jorginho. The Italians now starting to reach full voice again. Dotted all around the stadium. Of course there are empty blue seats, but sounds a lot more than 16,000. Jorginho lofting a high pass up towards Locatelli, headed away by Elvedi, and now Widmer out in the right wing-back position for Switzerland, converged upon by blue shirts. He's not really got anywhere to go. Has to find Elvedi. Risky back pass to Sommer, the goalkeeper. Sommer blazes it clear. Ball is chested down by Embolo into the feet of the substitute Vargas. Now Freuler with the lime green boots on, up to Embolo. Does well to hold off Toloi, knock it wide, further wide to the right hand side, and Widmer again. They've got two in the middle here. Switzerland, Gavranovic, edge of the area, and again surrounded by blue shirts. Once again Italy's determination to keep the ball out shines through, and now they're on the counter-attack. It's 3 against 3. Chiesa's ball down the right isn't great though to Immobile, and it's shepherded back to his goalkeeper by Rodriguez, and it's still just 2-0 to Italy. 12 and a half to go, but Barella is down. Barella is down for Italy, and this will cause some concern.
Well, I think he's still down from that initial foul that the referee played on from, which was good refereeing because they were on the break, but he's clearly in some pain.
The referee has his yellow card in his hand. Barella still lying on the turf, and here comes the Italy physio to try and treat Nicolo Barella, who was so impressive in Inter in their title-winning campaign. Yellow card for Breel Embolo. And Italy have impressed once again, though it's not been a perfect night, has it, Dean? Because Chiellini went off in the first half, and Barella might have to do so here.
Yeah, he just looks like he might just have turned his ankle as well, Barella, which again would be a blow, depending though on whether Verratti will be fit for the Wales game. But you're right, Chiellini, that would be a blow because of his experience, because of how well he played, certainly in the first game. He looked very comfortable alongside Bonucci. But you're going to have these issues throughout a tournament. Every team is likely to have someone get injured or suspended. It's how you can use your squad to get through these moments.
Remember, you can hear Italy against Wales this Sunday on Talk Sport. Switzerland, even though surely they're going to be beaten tonight, will still have incentive. The top 4 third place teams will advance the knockout stages, so not over yet for them. I suppose not even over just yet for Turkey either, though it would be more unlikely after 2 defeats from 2, and they haven't scored, Turkey either, of course. The game resumes. Barella is limping a little here. I'm surprised he hasn't come off, Dean Ashton.
Well, you'd think there's no need to take any chances, but I guess he must be fine. He must be.
10 minutes to go. Zuber on the near side for Switzerland, looks to roll it infield to Mbola, but again it's very congested. Again Italy working very hard off the ball. Akanji for Switzerland, on to Freuler, lip of the centre circle. Square pass, just tapped a couple of yards to find Elvedi. 2-0 down Switzerland. Substitute Vargas, out to his fellow sub Widmer. Vargas with the light blue boots plays it back to Elvedi again. The Swiss playing from right to left in the second half, all in white, as the ball is thundered clear downfield by the stand-in skipper Leonardo Bonucci, and he's not a bad stand-in either.
But I just think you think of Mancini and what he's done with this Italian side, but even just in this slight moment, Xhaka looks to go over the top, but definitely offside for Vargas. But just that initiative to put an extra defender on, go to a back three, knowing that Switzerland are putting more and more forwards on, so that you can have that solid base at the back, but still have the attackers to go and counter-attack and maybe get the third goal. It's just very, very good game management from Mancini.
He did say before the game, Mancini, I accept we are favourites, or among the favourites for the tournament, but stressed that Italy do need to improve. Knows that there is expectation on his side. Here is Vargas out on the far side, the right, infield to Widmer. This is a good run from Widmer, and Vargas had tried to make headway on the overlap, but again it's well covered, this time by Spinazzola. Gets a round of applause. Macerbi as he finds Jorginho, strokes it up the line, the far side, the left to find Locatelli. Pokes it on up towards Chiesa. Akanji's there for Switzerland. Chiesa hassling and harrying him, and has won a throw. Impressively well.
Yeah, he's probably been the best, hasn't he, of the back three. Manuel Akanji of Dortmund, he's been the one that's most of the time been exposed on his own but been able to cope. I think Elvedi and especially Fabian Schär really struggled with the quality down that left hand side of the Italians.
And Schär's struggling with injury, it looks like, as well, having already got off. Spinazzola takes the throw midway inside opposition territory. The game feels like it's already done, but Vargas will want to keep going for Switzerland. They'll want to impress off the bench, and Switzerland's game against Turkey is live on Sunday at 5 on TalkSport 2. The ball is with Freuler midway inside opposition territory. Italy 2, Switzerland 0. We're in the 83rd minute on TalkSport. Also wins today for Wales and for Russia at Euro 2020. Early ball in by Widmer, well gathered by Donnarumma, all in bright yellow in and around his penalty spot. He's 22, Dean, but he's got the presence of somebody who's 32.
It's incredible, isn't it? Especially for a goalkeeper. It's just unheard of that you've got someone with so much experience that's so young. Great ball.
Forward by Di Lorenzo in behind, Immobile in a foot race. He's got there first, and he's forced a save from Sommer, but the referee had spotted a foul. Is that a shove in the back from Immobile?
Again, brilliant defending from Akanji. Trying to get in behind was Immobile, but Akanji just read it in time, got his body across, and then was shoved by Immobile.
Now the substitutions continue, and Remo Freuler goes off to be replaced by Djibril Sow for Switzerland. Another man, Sow, who plays his football in Germany for Eintracht Frankfurt. Born to a Swiss mother and a Senegalese father. It's a very cosmopolitan Swiss team, very highly rated by Swiss media in the build-up to this tournament. They haven't been able to shine tonight. You feel a big opportunity missed for the Swiss when they were held by Wales in Baku. They missed a number of good chances. Has that come back to bite them here, you wonder? 6 minutes plus stoppage time left. Xhaka, lift in the centre circle, back to Elvedi. Now out on the right hand side is Vargas. Xhaka finding Sow, first touch for the sub, left with the edge of the 18-yard box, and on the far side the right, in front of the swathes of Swiss fans who are wearing their red shirts with pride still. Not many of them have left just yet. So, right wing position, he's got 2, 3, 4 in the middle. Left-footed cross is decent, headed away by Di Lorenzo. Comes back out to So, trying to find an injection of pace, but no way past Spinazzola. Spinazzola clears for Italy. And dropping back very deep is Chiesa, and the referee actually has signalled for a free kick to Italy, and this time Locatelli is lying down on his back injured.
Bit of cramp, I think, for Locatelli. He's just getting, as we tend to see, one of his teammates just grab the heel and the toe and squeeze to help him out.
Well, he's being helped up slowly now by his teammate, one of his teammates. And Italy readying a double change. Brian Cristante, who came on in the opening match against Turkey, wearing number 16, is stripped and ready to go. And before that, Locatelli will be replaced. The star of the show tonight for Italy, in many ways. 2 goals, the best moment of his international life.
What a performance from the man who plays for Sassuolo. What a season he's had, and what a summer he's beginning to have.
And what a future he has ahead of him. Manuel Locatelli, handshake from Roberto Mancini. His replacement is Matteo Pessina, his first appearance of the championships. And as I say, Brian Cristante also coming on, and it's Barella, who we saw go down a few moments ago, leaving the field for Italy. You should see the state of my notes now, Dean.
Yeah, if you haven't seen them, Joe's Twitter just showed you a whole new level of prep.
Chiesa looking to get in behind, headed away by Widmer. Free kick given to Switzerland. And it's a great privilege to be here. 3.5 to go, 2-0 to Italy. It's been great to watch, hasn't it, Dean? Both games, and Italy making it clear now that, they are right up there when it comes to the favourites for Euro 2020.
Yeah, I mean, you could feel the energy and the emotion, couldn't you, in that opening game, both for us, for the supporters, for the players, and this has just been a really serious performance, I think, from the Italians. They've been cruising for most of this second half. All the damage was done. Once that second goal went in, they've looked very, very impressive.
Forward by Vargas for Switzerland, down the far side, the right for Widmer. Stay with us after the final whistle for the Euro Sports Bar. 08717 22 33 44. I'm sure they'll be looking ahead to the England-Scotland game as well on Friday night, and the adjacent. Can't wait for that one already. And we've got more live football in between too across the network. We've got every game. Here is Jorginho, shy of halfway for Italy. There'll be a lot more headlines written about him tomorrow, I can tell you that. They already call him the maestro, the Italian press, and with good reason. Chiesa, out on the far side of the left, Immobile waiting in the middle. Cristante just a few yards behind. Iole starting up again, Cristante floats in the cross, well chested down and cleared by Rodriguez for Switzerland, but it's one back by Toloi. Immobile goes for goal, right-footed, and it's gone in! It's underneath the goalkeeper! Ciro Immobile has got his goal, 2-2 at Euro 2020 for Immobile, and it's another dream night under the lights in Rome for Roberto Mancini. Italy are in the last 16, Italy 3, Switzerland 0.
Well, as the clock ticked to 88 minutes, you just knew Ciro Immobile, when that ball fell to him, a striker hungry for goals, there was no way he was going to pass this. He's done all that earlier on in the game. He just got out of his feet. He absolutely drills it, and he's got a lovely little bit of dip on the end of the strike, which I think just deceives Sommer, because he looks like he's going to save it, and then it just dips at the end, just towards the grass, and he couldn't quite get his hands to it. Fizzed underneath and in for Immobile. He'll be absolutely delighted.
Well, the goalkeeper maybe might feel he should have done better. Got a big touch to the ball, Sommer, but it's 3-0 to Italy again. Is it going to be back-to-back 3-0 victories to open the tournament, and another show of intense for Italy tonight? No doubt about it. Chiesa, midway inside his own half. He's lost possession actually to Elvedi, who's hit the ball too hard, and it's going to go through to Donnarumma. And one or two of those Switzerland fans are heading for the exits now, but they are jubilant in Rome, the locals.
Of course. He plies his trade here. They love him here. And why wouldn't they? Not many people talking about him as top scorer before the tournament, but he knows where the back of the net is. And as he just showed there, he's got that little greedy, selfish edge to his play that he's just desperate for goals.
3 added minutes on TalkSport. 2-2 at the tournament, and he came into it in good form as well. If you go further back, it's 4-4 for Italy for Ciro Immobile, and that's the chant Ciro that's ringing around the stadium. Now Chiesa driving forward. Italy are looking for more. He's found Pessina on the edge of the D. Pessina lays it square to Di Lorenzo. Back towards Immobile. This time he's well tackled by Djibril Sow. So goes down, wants a free kick, doesn't get it. Well won back by Cristante. Italy are well into the groove. You'd expect that from a side that has been unbeaten for so long, remember. And they haven't conceded a goal since October last year. I mean, that is extraordinary in itself. And now Immobile looking to burst through again, but Elvedi's there. Immobile hungry for goals, hungry for more. That is home from home. The Stadio Olimpico, the Lazio player, as Dean said, plays his club football here. And he's loving his international football here at Euro 2020. Not long left now. Switzerland just want to get off the field. 90 seconds to go. So has somehow squeezed it through the legs of Di Lorenzo. Zuba is on the overlap. Zuba crosses, is blocked at the near post. Well blocked by Pessina. Zuba heads for the dead ball line again, but he's got 2 blue shirts on him. Digs out a cross. Donnarumma misses his punch. Wants a foul. Nothing given by the referee. Embolo, edge of the area, plays it square. It's come to So, who has ballooned the ball high up into the sky onto that former running track. That's almost bounced into the front row, and that takes some doing.
Horribly wrong, wasn't it, from So? He just lined it up like he just have dreamt of firing it into the top corner, and then realises as it spoons off the outside of his foot that it was just a dream.
Well, just seconds to go of stoppage time, and that is not the final whistle. That was a whistle in the crowd. That almost caught us all off guard there, Dean, because we do have 30 seconds left, I promise. And Embolo looking for a consolation for Switzerland. Maybe goal difference might come into it for them, especially if they finish third. Zuba drills in a low delivery, away by Bonucci, comes out to Embolo. No way through, pass to Toloi. Just nicks the ball off the toes of Embolo, the Atalanta captain. Italy supporters ready to celebrate another victory, confirmed by the final whistle. Cheers in Rome. Italy are through to the last 16 of Euro 2020, the first side to reach the knockout stages at this tournament, and they have cruised through in truth. Unbeaten now, Italy, in 29 matches since September 2018. They have won their last 10 without conceding a goal. They have scored 31 in that time. They haven't conceded since the middle of October in 2020. It was another dream evening at the Stadio Olimpico. 2 goals for Locatelli. Immobile in his home from home getting the third. Maybe the only slight concern for Mancini, injury to Chiellini, and then latterly little knocks for Barella and Locatelli, but nonetheless it's job done for Italy. 6 points from 2 matches, through to the knockout stages. It finishes on TalkSport. Italy 3, Switzerland 0.